If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. Let's get into it. Okay guys, everybody say it with me. Nothing I do is prescriptive for you, just descriptive of my form of crazy when it comes to guitars and life. And I am not a luthier, I am not a professional. This is just one man's journey. That being said, we got to try to put a ground wire right here. All right, let's do it. I'm going to go one more drill bit up. Let's don't ever speak of that again, okay? You may be thinking, bro, what have you done? Get it? Bro. Hey Mike, not a sponsored video. Let me get my props out of the way. Come on, Ted. Hey, welcome back everybody to another exciting episode of Ted Talks Guitars and Life. You actually may in fact be thinking, Ted, what have you done, Jack? We just put all those electronics in there. Well, we did, my friends. However, I want to shield the cavity and I want to put a ground wire from the bridge plate to the control panel. Some would argue you do not need one. I would beg to differ. So, hey, guess what, man? In all things guitars and life, you do you, Jack. Nothing I do is prescriptive, just descriptive of my form of crazy. So a couple things that I have done. Obviously, I have deinstalled everything from the guitar except for the pure tone output jack. Thus my little wires that I've taped to the side of the body over there to get them out of the way. I don't know, man. It was 4 screws. I could have just taken the 4 screws out. Who knows? So I did do 2 things that will be noticeable perhaps as we go on our journey. So I figure I'd point them out. One is that I did take my Dremel and I did put a little bit of a route in the bottom of that cavity to accommodate just a little bit more room for my blade switch jack. Yeah, man, no need to have a crowded house if you know what I'm saying. The second thing I did is I took 2 drill bits, a very small one and a other one, much larger, or a little bit larger anyway, and I made a ground wire hole jack. First time on the channel for me to drill through the body of a guitar, man. It was pretty easy, as easy things go. So that gave me a little bit of hope, J-Man, that at some point down the road, maybe I will get a Telecaster or Strat or something that's hardtail, and I will actually drill those holes for the string through body myself, Jack. Who knows? So in today's episode, what I'm going to be doing, I don't know how much of this we're going to hang out and talk while I do it versus how much I'm going to fast forward. I guess we'll have to see about time. I don't know if you guys are concerned about time or not, but I'm going to copper shield the cavities of the guitar. Now, what's important in my learnings to date is that we want to make sure that all of the cavities are connected, okay? So I'm going to be using my copper tape just the way I do it, guys. You do it however you want. I am going to go from the holes using a very thin piece of this tape to connect this cavity to the control plate. Okay. Now I did just notice that I have quite a bit of buffing compound in here. I thought I had vacuumed. Let me do that. Yeah. Headphones. Okay, now we can all be friends again. So, that being the case, my dear brothers and sisters, friends and family, boys and girls, we're gonna copper shield this body. So the way I do it, guys, look, you can do this any number of ways. I say it in almost every video, everything in guitar playing, and I would say even guitar setup, the kind of things I'm doing today are player preference kinds of things. So you could use an actual copper wire, and you could just put the copper wire through and then affix it on either end. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it the way I do it, which many people have told me is the hardest way to do this. I'm not doing it because it's the hardest way to do it. I'm doing it because it's the way I do it, guys. So I'm going to take this piece of copper tape and I'm going to go through the hole, in theory, from the neck pickup I know what you're thinking, Mike. I know what you're thinking, J-Man. Why does he do everything the hard way? That's why I love you guys, man. Always looking out for me, Jack. Always looking out for me. But you also know that Ted's kind of crazy and gonna do it his way. So, yeah, maybe this will work, maybe it won't. The challenge with this particular situation, these control cavities, is this anomaly right here. So I'm going to be connecting all of these cavities together, and I'm going to be using copper shielding tape to do that. And I know that a lot of people would tell me that this is the hardest way to go about what I'm doing. However, guys, it's just the way I do it. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say I enjoy doing it this way for the most part. Man, you guys do you. You could take any kind of copper wire and you could just run a copper wire all the way through these holes and then affix them to the bottom part of all these cavities, or the top if you were so inclined, I would imagine. You do you, man. However it is you want to do it. So there's lots of ways you can do this kind of stuff, okay? I say it in almost every vid, man. Everything, in my opinion, in guitar playing, and I'm going on a limb here and say, and even guitar setup, is player preference. All right, my friends. Well, it ain't pretty. I mean, it's not the ugliest copper shielding job I've ever done, but so a couple things that I will do, I'll do them off camera, is that I will put a copper shielding kind of box around the pickup here so that it hits this bad boy right here. And yeah, man, everything else should be copacetic. Life is good. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me on another crazy adventure, man. You guys are the best. Well, as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.